The unbreakable enemy. The message arrived on a Tuesday morning. Every screen on Earth lit up at the same moment. Every phone, every computer, every television. The face that appeared was not human. I am Commander Vesh of the Krellian Empire. You will surrender in 30 days, or you will die. The transmission ended. Silence fell across the planet. In the Earth Defense Command Center, General Sarah Chen stared at the blank screen. Her hands were shaking. She had seen the reports. She knew what was coming. "Show them the files," she said quietly. A young officer pressed a button. Images filled the wall screens. Burning planets, destroyed cities, alien fleets torn apart like paper. And in every image, the same ships. Krellian warships. Massive, dark, unstoppable. "For 300 years they have never lost," the officer said. 47 different species tried to fight them. All of them failed. Chen walked closer to the screens. She studied the battle footage carefully. Laser weapons hit Krellian shields and disappeared. Missiles exploded harmlessly against their armor. Plasma cannons, ion beams, antimatter bombs. Nothing worked. "What makes them so strong?" asked another general. "Their shields adapt," Chen replied. "Every weapon that hits them makes the shield stronger against that weapon. Energy weapons are useless, and their armor is made from compressed neutron matter. It's nearly indestructible." "Nearly?" someone asked. "Nothing is truly indestructible," Chen said, but her voice carried no confidence. The room fell silent again. Everyone knew what they were thinking. Earth had weapons, yes, good weapons, but compared to the other 47 species who had failed, Earth's technology was like bringing a knife to a gunfight. No, it was worse. It was like bringing a rock. "We have ships," said Admiral Marcus Webb. "We have railguns. We have missiles. We have primitive weapons," Chen interrupted. "The Krellians know this. They've been watching us. They know exactly what we have." She pulled up another file. A recording from 5 years ago. First contact with the Galactic Council. The meeting where Earth learned it was not alone in the universe. The meeting where other aliens looked at human weapons and laughed. "Projectile weapons?" An alien diplomat had said. "You still use bullets." How quaint, how backwards. Now those same aliens were hiding, running, hoping the Krellians would not notice them, because their advanced energy weapons had failed. Their powerful shields had crumbled. Their superior technology meant nothing. Chen turned to face her team. 50 of the best military minds on Earth, generals, scientists, engineers. All of them looked tired, scared. "We have one advantage," she said. "What advantage?" Webb asked. "We're 300 years behind them in technology." "Exactly," Chen smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "They think we're stupid. They think we're primitive. They think our weapons are toys." She pulled up an image of a Krellian commander, the same one from the transmission. Commander Vesh, his face was proud, arrogant, the face of someone who had never lost. 2 weeks ago we sent a diplomatic message," Chen continued. "We asked for peace. We offered to share resources. We tried everything." "And?" someone asked. "He laughed," Chen said. "He actually laughed. Then he sent us a challenge. He said, 'Show me your best weapon. Let me see what Earth has to offer. I want to know what primitive tools you will die with.'" The room erupted in angry voices, insults, threats. But Chen raised her hand for silence. "He thinks he's already won," she said quietly. "He thinks this is a game. Entertainment before the slaughter. So what do we do?" Webb demanded. "We can't beat their shields. We can't break their armor. Every weapon in the galaxy has failed. What makes us different?" Chen walked to the window. Outside, the sun was setting over Washington, D.C., beautiful, peaceful. In 30 days it might all be gone. Burned, destroyed, just like the 47 other worlds. But something stirred inside her. Something human. Something that had built pyramids and rocket ships. Something that had split atoms and cured diseases. Something that never gave up. She turned back to her team. "Call a meeting," she said. "Every weapons scientist, every engineer, every crazy inventor with a wild idea. I don't care if it sounds impossible. I don't care if it's never been done before." "What are we building?" Webb asked. Chen's smile grew wider, sharper. "He wants to see our best weapon? Fine, we'll show him. But here's what the Krellians don't understand about humans. When we face an impossible problem, we don't build one solution." She paused, letting the words sink in. "We build 10. The human way. The The warehouse was empty 3 days ago. Now it looked like organized chaos. 10 separate sections, 10 different teams, hundreds of scientists and engineers working around the clock. General Chen stood on a metal platform above it all. She watched the teams below. Sparks flew from welding torches. Computer screens glowed in the darkness. People shouted numbers and equations to each other. "This is insane," Admiral Webb said beside her. "We have 27 days left. They want to build 10 different weapons in less than a month." "Not weapons," Chen corrected. "Solutions. 10 different ways to break the unbreakable." Below them, a young woman approached, Dr. Sarah Martinez, 28 years old, MIT graduate, quantum physics expert. She looked exhausted but excited. "General, we need to talk about the teams," she said. Chen nodded. "Show me." Martinez pulled out a tablet. She swiped through images and diagrams. Team 1 is working on electromagnetic railguns, supercharged. They want to fire projectiles at 0.03% light speed, fast enough to punch through anything. "Will it work?" Webb asked. "Maybe," Martinez shrugged. "The power requirements are massive. They keep burning out the systems. But they're making progress." She swiped again. Team 2 is developing plasma rounds, contained balls of superheated gas, 15,000 degrees, hot enough to melt their armor before the bullets even hit. "Sounds promising," Chen said. It was, until the containment fields failed. They melted a testing chamber yesterday. Nobody died, but... Martinez trailed off. Chen's jaw tightened. "Next, Team 3, sonic weapons. They're trying to find the resonance frequency of Krellian armor. The right sound wave could shatter it like glass." "Could," Webb emphasized. "We don't have any Krellian material to test," Martinez admitted. "They're guessing based on scans and data from other species. It's a long shot," the list continued. Team 4 had acid rounds that could eat through metal. Team 5 worked on kinetic missiles, massive projectiles with no explosives, just pure mass and speed. Team 6 experimented with electromagnetic pulses. Team 7 tried thermite rounds that burned hot enough to cut through starship hulls. "What about Teams 8, 9, and 10? Chen asked. Martinez hesitated. "Team 8 is working on cryoweapons. Freeze the armor until it becomes brittle. Team 9 has nanoswarm bullets, tiny robots that burrow into the ships and destroy them from inside. And Team 10? Team 10 is..." Martinez paused. "Honestly, General, I'm not sure what they're doing. They took over Section 10 3 days ago. They sealed the doors. They won't let anyone in. Not even you." Chen's eyes narrowed. "Who's leading Team 10? Dr. Richard Park, former weapons designer. He retired 5 years ago, said he was done building things that killed people." "Then why is he here?" Martinez smiled slightly. "You invited every crazy inventor with a wild idea. He showed up with blueprints. He said he had something that would work. Then he locked himself in Section 10 with 30 engineers." Webb shook his head. "This is a mess. 9 teams struggling, 1 team hiding, and 27 days until the Krellians arrive." 26 days now, Martinez corrected quietly. Chen looked down at the warehouse floor. At Team 1, someone shouted in frustration as another power cell exploded. At Team 2, engineers rushed to repair the melted testing chamber. At Team 3, a woman sat alone, staring at sound wave equations that refused to work. This was humanity at its most desperate. Throwing everything at the wall, hoping something would stick. "General," Webb said softly, "what if none of this works? What if we're wasting time? Maybe we should focus on evacuation. Save who we can." Chen turned to face him. Her eyes were hard. "The Krellians have destroyed 47 species, billions of lives. They never accept surrender. They never show mercy. Even if we ran, where would we go? Every species in the galaxy is hiding. Nobody will help us, so we die trying?" Webb asked. "We die fighting," Chen corrected. "That's the human way." Suddenly alarms blared through the warehouse. Red lights flashed. Everyone stopped working. A technician's voice came over the speakers. "General Chen, we have a situation. Multiple ships just entered the solar system." Chen's heart stopped. "Krellian?" "No, ma'am. They're different, smaller. They're broadcasting a message. Audio only. Play it." Static crackled. Then a voice. "Alien. Nervous. Earth Defense Command, this is Captain Zrel of the Hixian Republic. We are here to observe. The Galactic Council wants to see what happens. They want to know if humans can do what 47 other species could not. They want to see if you can break the unbreakable." Silence filled the warehouse. "They're watching us," Webb whispered. Like we're entertainment. Chen's fists clenched. The Galactic Council, the same aliens who laughed at human weapons, the same ones who refused to help. Now they came to watch Earth die, but then she smiled, cold, determined. Good, she said. Let them watch. Let the whole galaxy watch. She activated the warehouse intercom. Her voice echoed through every section. All teams, listen. We have 26 days. The galaxy thinks we'll fail. They think our weapons are primitive. They think we're already dead. But they don't understand something important. Humans don't quit. Humans don't surrender. When we face impossible problems, we find impossible solutions. She paused, looking at each team below. So I need you to work harder. Work faster. Work smarter. Try everything. Break everything. Rebuild everything. Because in 26 days the Krellians will arrive. And we're going to show them why you never underestimate humanity. The warehouse erupted in cheers. People returned to their work with new energy, new determination. But as Chen watched them, doubt crept into her mind. 9 teams struggling, 1 team hiding, 26 days remaining. What if it wasn't enough? At that moment, the doors to Section 10 opened. Dr. Richard Park emerged. He was old, gray hair, tired eyes, but he was smiling. He looked up at Chen and gave a simple thumbs up. Then he went back inside and sealed the doors again. The test of fire 12 days passed like a nightmare. Team 1's railgun exploded during testing. 2 engineers went to the hospital with burns. Team 2's plasma rounds worked, but only for 3 seconds before the containment failed. Team 3 discovered that sonic weapons had no effect in the vacuum of space. A stupid mistake. A waste of precious time. Team 4's acid rounds melted the testing barrels. Team 5's kinetic missiles were too slow. Team 6's EMP weapons worked, but the Krellian ships were shielded against electromagnetic pulses. Team 7's thermite rounds burned hot, but not hot enough. By day 13, 7 teams had failed completely. General Chen stood in the warehouse at 3 in the morning. She had not slept in 2 days. Her coffee was cold. Her hands trembled. Admiral Webb approached slowly. He looked worse than she felt. Teams 8 and 9 reported in, he said quietly. The cryo-weapons freeze the target, but the Krellian armor doesn't become brittle. It just gets cold. And the nanoswarm bullets. The swarm dies before it can penetrate the hull. Chen closed her eyes. So all 9 teams failed. All 9, Webb confirmed. What about Team 10? Still locked in Section 10. Still won't talk to anyone. Still won't show us what they're building. Chen wanted to scream, to throw something, to give up. 14 days remained. 14 days until the Krellian fleet arrived. And they had nothing. Nothing that worked. Maybe we should evacuate, Webb said again. We have transport ships. We could save millions. Send them to the outer colonies. Hide them on Mars or Europa or... No, Chen said firmly. We fight. With what? Webb demanded. His voice cracked. General, please. We tried. We failed. It's over. Chen turned to face him. Tears were in her eyes, but her voice stayed strong. Get Dr. Park out of Section 10. Now. By force if necessary. I want to see what he's building. Even if it's nothing. Even if it fails. I want to know. Webb nodded and walked away. 30 minutes later, the doors to Section 10 opened. Not by force. Dr. Park walked out on his own. Behind him came 30 exhausted engineers. They were carrying something. A large metal case. Chen rushed down from the platform. Dr. Park, what is this? What have you been building? The old man smiled. His eyes were bloodshot from lack of sleep, but they sparkled with something. Hope? Madness? Chen could not tell. General, he said softly. I built something the galaxy has never seen. Something so simple they'll think we're stupid. Something so old they'll think we're primitive. He opened the case. Inside was a gun, but not just any gun. It looked like a rifle but larger, modified. The barrel was strange. It rotated. The ammunition chamber glowed with a soft blue light. This, Park said proudly, is everything that failed, combined into something that works. Chen stared. I don't understand. Park lifted the weapon carefully. Team 1's electromagnetic acceleration. Team 2's plasma coating. Team 3's resonance harmonics. Team 4's molecular acid. Team 5's kinetic mass. Team 6's EMP pulse. Team 7's thermite core. Team 8's cryoshell. Team 9's nanoswarm payload. You combined all 9 failures? Webb asked in disbelief. Not combined, Park corrected. Layered. The bullet has 9 stages. Each stage activates based on what it hits. The bullet learns, it adapts. If the first layer fails, the second activates. If that fails, the third, and so on. Chen's heart began to race. Does it work? I don't know, Park admitted. We can't test it. We don't have Krellian armor to shoot at. But the theory is sound. The math works. And it's our only chance. 7 days later, the Krellian fleet arrived. 100 warships dropped out of hyperspace near Jupiter. They were massive, dark metal that seemed to swallow light. Their shields shimmered like oil on water. Commander Vesh's face appeared on every Earth screen again. Your 30 days are complete. I see no surrender. I see your primitive fleet waiting. How amusing. Shall we begin your extinction? General Chen sat in the command chair of the EDS Defiance, Earth's flagship. Around her, the bridge crew worked in tense silence. Through the view screen, she could see the Krellian fleet. 100 ships against Earth's 50. Impossible odds. But humanity had faced impossible odds before. All ships, she commanded. Load Park's rounds. Every weapon, every gun, everything we have. General, the weapons officer said nervously. We only have 500 rounds total. If this doesn't work, then we die, Chen interrupted. But we die trying. The Krellian fleet moved forward. Slowly, like predators playing with wounded prey. Commander Vesh's voice echoed across space. I will give you one final chance, humans. Surrender now. Become slaves. Or die as heroes. Choose. Chen leaned forward. She pressed the communication button. Commander Vesh, she said calmly. You wanted to see our best weapon. You wanted to know what primitive tools we would die with. So let me show you. She nodded to the weapons officer. Fire. The Defiance's main railgun thundered. One shot. A single bullet screaming through space at impossible speed. The Krellian flagship's shields lit up. Energy rippled across the barrier. The same shields that had stopped every weapon in the galaxy for 300 years. The bullet hit. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then the shield flickered. Just once. A tiny crack appeared. Then the crack spread, like ice breaking on a frozen lake. The shield shattered. The bullet continued. It hit the Krellian armor. The armor that had never been penetrated. The armor made from compressed neutron matter. The bullet burned, melted, froze, vibrated, released acid, released plasma, released nanoswarms. 9 different attacks, 9 different failures, working together. A hole appeared in the Krellian flagship's hull, small at first, then larger. Then atmosphere rushed out into space. Emergency alarms blared. The flagship listed to one side, engines failing. Complete silence filled both fleets. Chen could barely breathe. It worked. It actually worked. Commander Vesh's face appeared on screen. His expression was no longer proud, no longer arrogant. It was confused, terrified. What? What have you done? He whispered. This is impossible. Your weapons are primitive. Your technology is backwards. How did you? Chen smiled. Cold, victorious. You made one mistake, Commander. You thought primitive meant weak. You thought old meant useless. But humans learned something a long time ago. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best solution. She leaned closer to the screen. And we never, ever build just one. She turned to her crew. All ships, open fire. Show them what humanity can do. 50 Earth ships fired as one. 500 rounds screaming through space. Each bullet a masterpiece of combined failures. Each round a testament to human stubbornness. The Krellian shields fell like rain, and for the first time in 300 years, the unbreakable empire began to break. The galaxy learns. The Krellian fleet did not understand what was happening. For 300 years they had been gods, untouchable, unstoppable. Now their shields were shattering like glass. Commander Vesh screamed orders. All ships, full attack. Destroy them! Destroy them all! The Krellian warships opened fire. Energy beams turned space into light. Missiles streaked toward Earth's fleet. Plasma cannons roared. Earth shields failed immediately. 2 ships exploded in the first 10 seconds. 5 more took critical damage. Return fire. General Chen commanded. Keep shooting! The Defiance shook as enemy weapons hit the hull. Alarms blared. Systems failed. But Chen stayed in her chair. Her eyes stayed locked on the view screen. Earth's guns fired again. And again. Park's bullets tore through Krellian shields like they were paper. Each round found its target. Each shot punched holes in the unbreakable armor. A Krellian destroyer exploded, then a cruiser, then 3 more warships. They're falling back, the tactical officer shouted. Half their fleet is retreating! But Vesh's voice cut through the chaos. No retreat. Any ship that runs will be destroyed by me. We are Krellian. We do not lose to primitives. Chen watched as the enemy fleet reorganized. 50 ships remained in fighting formation. They had lost half their forces in 15 minutes. But 50 Krellian warships was still enough to destroy Earth. Weapons status? Chen demanded. We have 200 rounds left, General. Multiple ships are damaged. The Valiant is gone. The Courage is losing atmosphere. The Guardian's engines are... I didn't ask for excuses. Chen interrupted. I asked for weapon status. Can we still fight? The officer straightened. Yes, ma'am. We can still fight. Then fight. The battle raged for another hour. Space filled with fire and debris. Ships on both sides exploded. People died. Heroes died. But something strange happened. The Krellian ships became afraid. Chen saw it in their movements. The way they hesitated before attacking. The way they kept distance. The way they protected their damaged vessels. For 300 years, they had never felt fear. Now they understood it. General, the communications officer said suddenly. We're receiving a message. It's Commander Vesh. He wants to talk. On screen, Vesh's face appeared. He was bleeding. His ship was burning behind him. But his pride remained. You fight well, human, he said. Better than I expected. But you cannot win. We still outnumber you. We still have more ships. More weapons. More... You're afraid. Chen interrupted. Vesh's eyes widened. I fear nothing. Liar, Chen said calmly. You're terrified. For 300 years you've been untouchable. Now you know you can bleed. Now you know you can die. And you don't know how to handle it. Vesh's face twisted with rage. I will show you fear, human. I will show you... No, Chen interrupted again. You'll show me nothing. Because you're going to leave. You're going to take your remaining ships and run. And you're going to tell the galaxy what happened here today. Never, Vesh roared. We are Krellian. We do not retreat. We do not... You already are retreating, Chen said. Your ships are pulling back. Your formations are defensive. You're stalling for time, hoping for a miracle. She leaned forward. There are no miracles, Commander. Only choices. You can stay and die, or you can leave and live. Choose now. Silence hung between them. Behind Vesh, someone shouted in panic. Another Krellian ship exploded in the distance. Vesh's jaw clenched. His pride warred with his fear. Finally he spoke. This is not over, human. We will return with more ships. Better weapons. We will... You won't, Chen said quietly. Because by the time you return, we'll have better weapons too. We'll have learned from this battle. We'll have built new solutions. That's what humans do. We adapt, we improve. We never stop. She paused. You asked me once to show you our best weapon. This wasn't it. This was just the first test. Imagine what we'll build next. Vesh stared at her. For a moment, Chen saw something in his eyes. Not anger, not pride. Something else, respect. Retreat, he said quietly to his fleet. Full retreat, now. The remaining Krellian ships turned and fled. Within minutes, they jumped to hyperspace. Gone. The bridge of the Defiance erupted in cheers. People hugged, cried, laughed. They had won. Against impossible odds, they had won. But Chen did not celebrate. She stood and walked to the window. Outside, the debris field stretched for thousands of miles. Earth ships, Krellian ships, all destroyed, all dead. Admiral Webb approached her. His uniform was torn. Blood dripped from a cut on his forehead. We lost 18 ships, he said quietly. 4,000 people. But we won, Sarah. We actually won. Chen nodded slowly. We survived. That's not the same as winning. Before Webb could respond, the communications officer called out. General, we're receiving transmissions. Multiple sources. It's the Galactic Council, the Hixian Republic, the Voltari Union, everyone. Everyone in the galaxy is trying to contact us. Chen turned. Put them through. All of them. The view screen split into dozens of smaller screens. Alien faces appeared. Some Chen recognized. Most she did not. They all looked shocked, amazed, frightened. An elderly alien spoke first. Ambassador Trell of the Galactic Council. General Chen, he said slowly. We watched the battle. We watched you break the Krellian shields. We watched you destroy their fleet. We watched you do what 47 other species could not. How? Chen was quiet for a moment. She thought about the past 30 days, the failures, the desperation, the impossible odds. You want to know our secret? She asked. The aliens all nodded eagerly. Chen smiled. We didn't build one weapon. We built 10. When 9 of them failed, we combined them into something new. That's the human way. When we face an impossible problem, we try everything. We fail, we learn. We adapt, and we never give up. Another alien spoke. Captain Zrel of the Hixian Republic, the one who came to watch. But your technology is primitive, he said, confused. Your weapons are backwards. You should not have been able to. Our weapons are simple, Chen corrected. Not primitive, simple, and sometimes simple is better. Sometimes the old ways work when the new ways fail. Ambassador Trell leaned forward. General Chen, the Galactic Council would like to extend an invitation. We would like Earth to join the Council. We would like to learn from you. We would like— No, Chen interrupted. Silence. Every alien stared in shock. No, Trell repeated. But this is a great honor. Every species in the galaxy would— You watched us die, Chen said coldly. You came to observe, like we were entertainment. You had the power to help, the technology to stop the Krellians. But you did nothing. You hid and hoped they would leave you alone. Her voice grew harder. Earth doesn't need the Galactic Council. We don't need your approval. We don't need your technology. We proved that today. What we need is to be left alone to heal, to rebuild, to remember the 4,000 people who died fighting. She paused, looking at each alien face. But I'll make you a promise. The next time the Krellians attack anyone, Earth will help. The next time any species faces extinction, we'll be there. 'Cause that's what humans do, we help, even when others won't help us. The aliens were silent. Some looked ashamed. Others looked grateful. Ambassador Trell bowed his head. You are right, General. We failed you. We were cowards. But perhaps Earth can teach us to be brave again, Chen nodded. Perhaps. But not today. Today we mourn. She closed the communication channels. The view screen went dark. Admiral Webb stood beside her. That was quite a speech. It was the truth, Chen replied. They stood together watching the debris field. The stars beyond. The Earth in the distance and still whole, still safe. What happens now? Webb asked. Chen thought about Dr. Park and his impossible weapon. About the 9 teams that failed but never gave up. About humanity's stubborn refusal to accept defeat. Now, she said quietly, now we rebuild. We learn from this battle. We make better weapons, better ships, better defenses. She turned to face Webb. Her eyes were tired but determined. The Krellians will come back someday. And when they do, we'll be ready. Because we're human. We never stop building. We never stop improving. And we never ever give up, Webb smiled. The human way. The human way, Chen agreed. Far across the galaxy, Commander Vesh sat in his damaged ship. His fleet was broken. His pride was shattered. His empire would never be the same. But he had learned something important. In the vast galaxy, there were species with better shields. Faster ships, older technology, but there was only one species that looked at an impossible problem and said, let me try 10 different ways. That species was humanity, and the galaxy would never forget it. The end.